All right. Welcome in. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Phil Nagy, it is Kit Nagy. You are watching Nagy on Sports. Appreciate everybody being on with us as we try to continue to swiftly get through the rest of our 2023 sim season. We are in week 17. The Browns struggling, fighting for their playoff lives. Again, they did the first 12 games with Jacoby Brissett, and now the last two or three with Deshaun Watson. So the opponent today is the Seattle Seahawks at 5-10, sporting the rookie quarterback, #1 overall pick in 2023, Mr. CJ Stroud, who's already popped as an X factor. So we'll see what he looks like in real life. Kid, how are we doing today?
I'm doing well, and yeah, you're right. It was the last three with Jacoby.
Thank you.
And with Deshaun instead of Jacoby. But yeah, it's certainly been a bit dicey here. That last loss certainly was a tough one against the Chiefs, and this is a very dangerous Seahawks team with all those rookies. They've been playing very, very well. So the Browns are in for a big matchup here. Obviously, it's an NFC team, but you can't afford to lose any of these games anymore.
They're going to need to win out here over their last two. 10-7, you're going to give yourself a chance again in these simulated playoffs. So without further ado, let's get this one booted on. Welcome on, Will. Welcome on, George. Welcome on, Mitchell. Welcome on, Bang with Smoke. We're doing just fine. How are you? And yeah, I thought Dobbs looked sharp today. I think, if anything, maybe it'll shut up some of the Jimmy G talk. For all of the financial reasons, it doesn't make any sense. Maybe now you'll be like, you know what? If Dobbs has to come in for a game or two because Brissett got nicked up, then I think we're going to be okay.
Yes, indeed.
There is the rookie, 3,600 yards, 22 touchdowns, 15 interceptions. Again, he does have the Tom Brady Pro Reads Superstar X Factor already to his name. His emblem, I don't think, shows up until he gets to at least, 85, maybe 90.
Yeah, I think it's 90 for a Superstar X Factor.
So, but he's still there, so he's going to get some pressure right now. Right tackle, got him! That's this year's rookie, Charles Cross, but it's picked up by Carson, who didn't retire in Madden, and the whole thing will net in a 6-yard loss.
Still counts as a sack, though, but knocking the ball loose for the forced fumble. But Carson there, Johnny on the spot to prevent that from being disaster the other way. Welcome
in, James. Zykevius Walker from your Auburn Tigers is starting defensive lineman for this Seahawk team 1 year into the future. He's like a superstar for you guys, right? All right, I formation. CJ Stroud turns around and gives to Carson, and he'll run into Jadeveon Clowney for a short gain. Sets up a 3rd and 13 now here. CJ back into the shotgun. Still has DK Metcalf. Still has Tyler Lockett. So 2 receivers over a 90 rating. But still some weaknesses in other parts of it. He's going to go deep to the left side. And it looked like, I couldn't tell, it looked like Greg Newsome was the one who was over there. Yep, Greg Newsome, the nuisance, helping to play some defense. Incomplete. Punt coming for the Seahawks.
Yeah, great play there. Just going up for that contested catch at the attack point and manages to just jar it loose.
Welcome in, 504. Going to be taken and ripped right down to the ground as we've got Michael Ford. Decided to go with the color rush, even though it makes Kit and I's job way harder because it's hard to see the numerals sometimes on the screen.
Yeah, but it looks so good.
I know, it sure does. All right, here he is, Deshaun again. This is game number 4 for him. He's got 1,000 yards, 10 TDs, and 2 interceptions. So I think he's at least right now he's at least ahead of the 1 per game trend that he had certainly for us in 2022. All right. Double tight end to the right side. One of them will come in motion. That's Harrison Bryant. Now he'll sort of shift back to a fullback position. Chubb right side, 30 to the first down marker. Stiff arm, 40, 45. Can he get into that last gear? He will! He's going to outrun Zykevius Walker. 20, 10, 5. Chubb from play 1. Let's go, Browns.
Let's go. And again, with the Nick Chubb runs looking like Nick Chubb, that was a beauty right there as he was absolutely refusing to go down, and you were calling for that final gear, and he delivers there right on the perimeter with the last defender in trail, unable to make a play, and he says goodbye.
Oh, how about that? That play on the first play of the game.
Love it.
Big time touchdown run, and Nick Chubb has started the game off with some fireworks. Look at that momentum shoot all the way to the right as you can see Stroud trying to calm his guys down a little bit. But wow, one play house call for Nick Chubb. Hey, Mason, welcome in. Hey, Pellegrin, welcome in.
A reflection of what we all witnessed as Browns fans as our third, fourth, fifth running backs all are out there looking like starters in the NFL.
Gosh,
I mean,
even
it was
sixth
awesome.
if you count John Kelly
today.
Yeah,
yeah, it was awesome.
All right, a holding call on the linebacker. Joel, I, and a lot of letters after that. I didn't see it, but I know it's long. Pitch a little pop pass across the middle. I think that's Dwayne Eskridge. He'll break one tackle, and then he'll go down immediately after that. 0 yards on the game to Dwayne Eskridge. That is who it is. They drafted him last year in real life. 2nd and 10 now. Stroud under center. He'll pitch it left side, and the Browns swarm him big time. JOK got there. Clowney got there. Excuse me, that's Greedy Williams who got there. That 6 and that 8 look very similar.
Yeah, defense answering the dinner bell here as they saw Chubb and got all kinds of amped after that one-play offensive drive, and they're like, all right, let's go.
I certainly feel bad for my boy C.J. Stroud, especially in a must-win situation for the Browns. They're going to be relentless here today. Pressure coming around him, and Miles kind of pushes the right tackle. That's the rookie this year in real life, Charles Cross. Kind of pushes him into Stroud, and that kind of makes the ball pop out incomplete. And now Dixon will punt from inside his end zone.
Yeah, I think it might have been batted as well. I couldn't really tell, but it looked like there was some traffic in there. It might have gotten batted down at the line.
Big time punt all the way down to the 35-yard line from in his end zone. Browns will still get great field position here at the 42-yard line. Yeah, Chubb's upset that they couldn't get her done. I mean, you did drop 2 pick sixes as well. It shouldn't have been close.
No. Well, and they should have scored the touchdown on the 1-yard line. Yeah, obviously they wanted the mechanics for the field goal unit. I get it.
Yeah, sure.
They even talked about it in the press.
They would have gone
so
for that in real life.
And so you want that. You certainly want, the 3 and out, or the 4 and outs, turnover on down. Some of those. One of them was a bad ref spot that was really frustrating.
Yes, it was. Big shot by Jamal Adams on Kareem Hunt, 2nd and 9. Yeah, no, I mean, there's a lot of things. I mean, they were joking that the Cade York field goal that hit the upright was actually curving back in. So if he had kicked it from like 58 or 60, it would have been fine.
I think.
But because he was at 55, it hit the upright.
I think it actually was. It was mentioned by multiple sources that mentioned that had it been a little bit further back, that thing actually probably just sneaks in.
No, I did see a pregame video, and he was not even from like the little white wicket ball holder, but like actual snapper, actual holder was kicking them from 63 plus, and it was still room to go.
Yeah.
I think that's what we were all secretly hoping for on that last drive. Is like, just get him close enough, just give him a chance. Like 70, that's fine. Just give the guy a chance. When he's put it through the uprights on a kickoff, like just get him to where he's kicking from the 35, and we'll be okay. But to no avail.
Yeah.
To no avail. All right, Browns end up punting C.J. Stroud back into it. We'll get back to here with what we do best. He's going to dump it off short. He's got Chris Carson, and Carson might be getting the first down of the game for the Seahawks. He will. That's the first down for the Seahawks. 88-0 now in total yards to start the game here. Still 10 minutes to go in the first quarter. Now Stroud, a little dig across the middle, rather. Eskridge, and he'll pick up a nice game before Owusu Koromoa gets over there. Anchoring the other side of the defensive line for Seattle is rookie defensive lineman Isaiah Foskey. We'll see him in a couple weeks here in Columbus. He's a Notre Dame star. So you got Foskey and Zykevius Walker, your 2 starting rookie defensive ends here for this. We had a bunch of draft picks picked off. The Ward and jumps it. Tyler Lockett didn't even look, and he picks him off, and some Buckeye on Buckeye crime right there.
That was sweet.
That's been such classic. Like, if he doesn't pick balls off like that in real life, I'm going to be so upset because of how many awesome picks we've seen him have.
No, Mason, I don't think it's way too early to be concerned about Winfrey. Again, I mean, he's going to take some time to develop.
Was he like suspended for the first quarter or something? He definitely did not play in the first quarter.
Yeah, he was in the doghouse for whatever reason. That was a sweet run from Chubb. But for whatever reason, he did something that didn't bode well. So not only was he coming in late, but then he was playing the whole rest of the game. So I don't know what it was, but, hopefully he'll get that sorted out. And plus, D-tackle does take some time to develop. I know people are excited about him with good reason. I think he can be very good, but give him some time. I mean, D-tackles don't, that's a tough transition from the college game to the NFL game at the D-tackle position. So, most guys aren't like turnkey, like you're going to walk in and be an instant starter dynamo at the D-tackle position.
No, and if they had to start like him and Glenn Logan or whoever was playing the majority today, I would be worried.
Yeah.
But you still have Taven Bryan, Elliott, and Togiai as well. And again, remember that Miles and Jadeveon and Chase Winovich can all rush from the inside.
That's right. And they will.
Again, maybe, if you're playing the Titans every week and you know that Derrick Henry's going to bludgeon the interior of your line for the whole game, then maybe you make a change. But for the kinds of teams that we need to play, they'll take the speed all day, I think.
Oh, yeah. Ooh.
How about a wide open Harrison Bryant? Abercrombie steps out at the 4. First and goal for the Browns.
Yeah, just nobody there. That actually looked a little bit like that David Bell kind of finding space in the zone route early in the or in that preseason game. It's kind of fun there. He's actually in a similar area on the field where Harrison Bryant was finding some space. And a nice little throw from DW4 to just put it right on him.
First and goal from the 4 for the Browns now. Shotgun look. He'll give it to Kareem. Left side, and he'll be met right in the hole very quickly there by the linebacker. I believe that's Jordan Brooks on the tackle. Excuse me, Dante Nicholson, another rookie. There's rookies all over this team. We know that the draft classes are a little bit sweetened, and he'll take another sack from Otamiwo, who's a rookie this year in real life now. Third and goal, but back to the 10, where they have a little bit more room to work. Hey, Rick, welcome in. Shotgun with 3 wide receivers and Harrison Bryant. Hunt stays in to help. Watson steps up, back corner of the end zone, and it's caught! Amari Cooper does his best to jump in front of Kobe Bryant. Not that Kobe Bryant, but the one from the Cincinnati Bearcats who played next to Sauce Gardner last year. And a touchdown for the Browns.
Yeah, sweet. Just Cooper showing some real veteran savvy here with a beautiful effort to just win at the top of the jump. That was a sweet little touchdown catch.
Yeah, very much boxed him out there too. Like, if I put my body between you and the ball, you won't touch the ball. Pretty easy recipe there. Browns go up 14-0 here, still in the first quarter. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy joining you here for Nagy on Sports again as we are continuing to finish up our 2023 sim season. We basically ran this season in franchise mode to see what it would look like with Jacoby Brissett. We sort of guessed, and he actually played the first 12 games of the season, and they went 7-5 in those 12 games, and now Watson has gone 1-2, albeit against some stiffer competition. But so I think if the Browns go 6-5, which is what it was after 11 with Brissett, you have to be very happy about that.
Right. Yep. I think you do.
Yeah, Mason. They were kind of joking. One of the Browns beat writers was joking after the day, like, "Hey, maybe just leave Deion Kane in Cleveland because he played really well today for the Eagles, but." They cannot keep Miles Sanders healthy, and their run is so important that there were some, obviously it depends on value, but there was some speculation that maybe Kareem Hunt to Philly made sense. I think if they trade one, it's going to be Kareem, right? You're going to get better value back for him, I would assume, than D'Ernest. I would assume.
Yeah, probably. I mean, and especially because
either of them are going to need new deals after this year. So.
Right. And Reem has been the one that's been, vocal about, wanting that new deal. Sure.
Empty backfield for Stroud. So, yeah, I don't know if you would do, is there a team like Philly who's got a deeper wide receiver? This one's going to be picked. He got hit as he threw. And Grant Delpit goes up in the air, and poor C.J. Stroud is just absolutely getting beat up here in his first game in Ohio.
Yeah, he sure is.
It's not going well for him.
And again, that pressure causing it. Perry and Winfrey right there. Maybe he didn't have the best preseason game today, but he certainly showed up right there for us in the sim.
Yep. I will say, again, I thought Schwartz definitely took steps forward today.
Yep, he did.
We haven't seen Cooper. We haven't seen DPJ. We know that Cooper absolutely owned Darius Slay during the joint practices.
Yep.
We haven't seen the Chief yet. I don't even think we've seen a little. I don't think Harrison Bryant played at all today, did he?
No. Nope.
Obviously we haven't seen any of the starting running backs yet. So, I mean, on paper, you're right. It looks real thin, but, I thought Javon Wims made a couple of plays today. It's the first time we'd really seen him.
Harley flashed at times.
We know they're high on Woods, and we haven't seen him yet. You know what I mean?
And I think,
it's like at some point, are you going to keep 5? Are you going to keep 6? Like at some point, you're not going to keep 8 guys hoping that 3 turn out for you well,
Right. Well, and here's the other thing to consider about this, and part of the reason why they may not look to trade for a wide receiver is you got to remember you're going to have to keep somebody which is probably coming out of that wide receiver room for kick returns. So you're probably looking at Felton in that kind of a role. So you're probably keeping him as a receiver on the roster. Plus, Woods is a draft pick, so they're going to give him a real serious look. I think he probably makes this roster as a result. Especially
Harley's
since he's
maybe
played
like a
very
practice
well.
squad guy.
Yeah, Harley would be a practice squad dude. So they'll keep him Woods around, that is, because he's somebody they're excited to develop, and they've already started to show some of it.
Well, and the club control for 4 years is such a luxury.
Huge piece, yep.
As opposed to Harley, who was an undrafted rookie free agent. So I think it's just a 1-year deal for him.
Yep.
They certainly don't have the same amount of control. So we'll see, Mason. I mean,
But I'm guessing you're only keeping 5. I mean, and you're already looking
if you're thinking 5 plus Felton, kind of a thing.
Or maybe even 5 with Felton.
And that's assuming, maybe Johnny Stanton ends up not making the 53, so there's an extra spot.
Yeah.
Or maybe you count him as the 3rd tight end if you're not. I mean, I really think that the Griffin Stewart guy's been awesome.
Yeah.
He's catching everything. He's a little bit bigger and huskier than Forrestall, so you'd assume he's a better blocker. But he's catching everything, and he's running good routes. And
yeah, he's been very good. So
yeah, we'll see. I mean, we'll have a lot more to talk about certainly after we see the starters next week with Chicago.
For sure.
Even though it's Chicago, we'll get a chance to be like, oh yeah, Cooper can play for sure. As Stroud's going to go deep to the right side, and Delpit swats it out of the hands of Tyler Lockett, incomplete. 3rd and 7.
Certainly gives you a good opportunity to build some solid confidence, though, going against Chicago in that last one.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Little out route to Chris Carson. They'll pick up the first down on a 3rd and 8. Nice completion there from Stroud, who has struggled here in the first quarter, which still has not even ended yet. 17-0 Browns. James, I think in real life they would have gone for that. I think maybe it was a Madden mercy choice. 1st and 10 now. Gets back up after the pass rush. Myles Garrett. That's number 34 on the season now, just with 2 games left. Can he break 41? He's going to need a heck of a performance. But the rookie quarterback might be what he's needing.
Might be, especially since they're already pretty well down. He's going to be passing for a solid 3 quarters here.
Bunch. Yes, he is.
This game is certainly setting up that way.
Ward in the zone now, double tight ends to the left side. He'll send Chris Carson out of the backfield. Back to pass. Stroud firing quickly to the left side. Short throw to his tight end. And brought down immediately is Will Dissly at the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 22. So we'll see. I don't know. There could be somebody else out there, but then it's kind of like, if you're bringing somebody else, who is it instead of? Is it instead of Schwartz? Is it instead of Felton? Is it instead of Woods? You start to have those conversations, and I'm just not sure that they're ready to. This team's obviously going to throw the ball, but they're a run-first team, and so if they feel like they've got 3 guys, Peoples-Jones and Cooper, and then any one of 3 other guys who can be that 3rd guy, based on skill set or particular scheme or whatever, game plan, matchup, whatever, I don't necessarily feel like I see him making a move.
Yeah, well, I think you're pretty comfortable with your top 3. Bell is filling in nicely for that.
Bell, gosh, we haven't even said his name yet. I totally forgot about it. We got to see him today, and he was fine.
And he was great. So I think he's settling solidly into that 3rd receiver role. You've got Schwartz that can play really in a 4th receiver role, stretch the field type utility receiver.
So now you have Woods? You have Schwartz, Woods, Felton. That gives you 6 right there. Then, if you consider Bell and Cooper and Peoples-Jones,
Yep.
So that's already 6 guys right there, and we haven't even said Harley or Wims or anything yet.
Right.
So
Right.
So yeah, I would say, to me, it will be more surprising if they add a receiver over adding another interior defensive lineman.
Right.
Which clearly, obviously, is the other need that is showing itself. Is, for some reason, it looked like Watson had plenty of room to run, and he opts to throw it out of bounds. And the Browns will punt here. It is week 17. We are 8-7. There are 6 teams that are 8-7 right now in the AFC. We'll break it down for you at the end of the sim. But basically, there's three strong division leaders in Tennessee, Kansas City, and Cincinnati, who are all 10-5 or better. And then there are 6 teams fighting for 4 playoff spots. One of those right now is New England at 8-7, so they will get in. And then there are 5 other 8-7 teams, and 4 of them are going to get spots. So 3 of them are going to get spots. So it's going to be a pretty wild finish. You got Vegas in there. You got Baltimore in there. Pittsburgh in there. So it's going to be a crazy last couple weeks here of this sim season to see if the Browns can get their way into the playoffs as Stroud goes to Eskridge for another gain and a 3rd and 1.
Yeah, I think the only way they're almost guaranteed to get in is if they win all of them. If they don't, then it's real dicey from there.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to still need to win all of them and then get some help. But, yeah, if you're going to try to get in at 9-8, you're going to need an incredible amount of bad things to happen. That's going to be 2 losses for Pittsburgh and 2 losses for Baltimore.
Right.
And if they play each other, that's not guaranteed. It's a nice run to the left side. A little jet sweep to Noah Fant, the tight end. How about that? Goes for 10 yards. 10:57 on the clock now as C.J. Stroud tucks under his center. Rookie left tackle Broderick Jones out of Georgia again, as there are rookies all over this roster. They've got a bunch of picks, and you can tell that the tank is on for Seattle, especially if you watched them play in those preseason games.
Yeah, for sure.
They are abysmal.
Yep.
No offense to Geno Smith or Drew Lock, but it's going to be some really rough football.
Well, and that's where I thought, honestly,
Seattle this year.
The best fit for Baker had to be the Seahawks, but
I think they didn't want to have to mess around with 500. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe Baker wins 6 games with this roster. We want to win 2. Stroud, so they can get this guy right here. Stroud fires a dart to Tyler Lockett. Sets up a 2nd and short.
Yeah, he did, Mason. Just his finger, though, so it shouldn't be a big deal at all. I don't think it sounded pretty minor.
As Carson tries to stiff arm JOK, and he doesn't fall backwards. That was awesome. 3rd and inches as JOK stands his ground, and the Walker comes to help out. Stroud under center. Carson the single back. 3-step drop for Stroud. Quick little stick concept to the right side, and Lockett does not go on the out route. He opts to stay in and catches that ball for about 6 and a 1st down. Decent drive here for Stroud and the Seahawks up to the 24-yard line now with 8 to go. First half. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy joining you for the Nagy on Sports. Only place on the internet you can get simulated Madden games with live original commentary with 97% Browns focus. Stroud, play action out of the pistol. A lot of time now. Good job by the line. He's bouncing, and now he'll fire it deep to the left side and caught and then knocked out of his hands. He went up high for DK Metcalf, and somebody in a brown and orange jersey swatted it out of there.
Man, he's a tough physical receiver, so that's hard to do.
Sure is. Miles against the rookie this year, Charles Cross. Fant, stiff arm, 1st down. Noah Fant kind of shoves him to the ground, and there's MJ Emerson, and he's going to want that highlight back as he got thrown to the ground. 7 minutes to go, a 1st down at the 12-yard line. C.J. Stroud takes the snap. He's going to give a delayed handoff to Carson. He's through the 1st level. A diving Anthony Walker misses him, and he'll pick up about 10 yards. A big 9, rather, for a 2nd and 1. Greedy Williams on the tackle. They still can get a 1st down there at the 2. Give it up the middle. Carson. He's going to be stopped right at the line by Winovich. And still a 3rd and inches. Let's go defense now. They bring in Nick Ballore, the fullback. Ward shifts back out to the outside. 3-step drop for Stroud. Pressure coming. Dump it right side to Carson. Clowney can't make the tackle. Slippery little Chris Carson there. Gets around Clowney. Touchdown, Seahawks. Thought Clowney had that one. Doesn't even really stiff arm him. He just kind of bounces. I guess he sort of stokes his hand on his waist. Anyway, touchdown, Seahawks.
Odd that Clowney wouldn't make that tackle. He's one of the best at making tackles in space with those long arms and just being able to drag people down. He's so good at that, so I don't see him getting shrugged off anytime soon.
Indeed. Let's get the ball back to that man, Nick Chubb, who had essentially 100 yards in his first 3 carries of the game in that first quarter. Short kick, a little wind there, is Felton, and he passed the 25 to the 26 is Dimitrik. Shotgun look now, 5:48 to go. Watson needs back to pass. He's got some time. He'll step up, throw it short to Kareem Hunt, and they'll pick up about 4 yards there. Staying on schedule, 2nd and 6, and he is in the zone. He will stay in the zone until he throws an incompletion. I actually looked up what it was. Here's a run to Kareem, right side. He's near the first down, and he'll push forward. Sidney Jones, the corner, meets him right at the line. He'll give him the marker, 1st and 10. So as long as he doesn't throw an interception, he stays in, or an incompletion, he stays in the zone, and it gives him. I don't think he can be picked. Basically, is what it. Basically, it's kind of like Truz, where he can't fumble, but he cannot throw an interception while he's in the zone. Now, as soon as he throws an incompletion like that, he's back out of the zone, and now he's going to take a sack. And there's your boy James Zykevius Walker, the rookie out of Auburn, another one of their top draft picks, picks up the sack. So you got Walker on one side, Isaiah Foskey on the other side. It looks like Walker's actually popped as a superstar as well. 3rd and 17. Little drag to Bell. He's got lots of room. Can he do it? He can. 1st down and more to the 50 and beyond. Kobe Bryant tackles him after 21 yards on the completion. 1st down, Browns.
Yeah, that was sweet. Love seeing that. Bell is such a vital little utility player out of the slot for this Browns offense, and finding him in some space there.
Joe Thomas was pretty high on him on the Browns broadcast that I was watching as Chubb just bulldozes his way through a defensive back. That's the free safety Bubba Bolden, who's a rookie this year out of the U. Most famous for being high school teammates with Chubb just blowing people up. Oh gosh, who's the name of I've already forgot his name. The quarterback from Vegas who came to the Buckeyes. Oh, Tate Martel for like a week or for like a year, and then he left. Bubba Bolden was on Tate Martel's high school team and ended up going to the U. Which I think is why Tate went down to the U after he left Ohio State, and now I don't think he plays football at all. He was like Johnny Manziel without being an alcoholic, is what they said, but if I remember correctly.
It's not a positive comparison.
No. At least not for the football.
No.
Here's another throw again. He's got a block, but he runs away from it. He breaks the tackle anyway. Another broken tackle and pushed out of bounds in a big way by Jamal Adams at the 8. How about that run after catch for DPJ?
Interesting, considering he made what I would consider several mistakes that happened to work out in his favor to make that happen, as he kind of cut at the wrong time, but it just so happened that the defender wasn't ready for it either, so very bizarre.
L's open, and I guess he stepped out of bounds at the 1.
Stepped out.
2nd and goal now from the 1 yard line. Chubb is in the zone and in the game. That would be the obvious choice for me. Left side, and he's into the end zone. Also, I guess we need to list Chris Rose, who's doing the play-by-play for the Joe Thomas Homer broadcast, was calling him Posick. Ethan Posick.
Yeah, I did hear that. I'm wondering if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it.
Yeah, I may have to look up the pronunciation guide, because we have been rolling with Pacic for a long time. But yeah, Posick feels like a completely different player than Pacic.
Right.
But we'll make sure that we get that right before 2023 rolls, or 2022 on Madden 23 rolls around.
Right. Well, you'd have to think, considering it's the home broadcast, that they would have due diligence to have the correct pronunciation for the home team.
I have no reason not to believe them. Yeah.
Unlike the Jags broadcast, they couldn't possibly remember what Johnson's last name was.
Dearness Brown. Dearness the Brown. Maybe that's what they meant. Dearness the Brown.
Yeah.
Stroud on a 2nd and 6. Fires into traffic, and I thought Denzel snagged that one too.
Now, to be fair, I'm sure, much like me, I know the Browns roster forwards and backwards, but I couldn't tell you most of the other NFL teams, especially once you get past the starters.
Yes. Here comes Stroud. Pressure coming from Winfrey. And the Browns will call timeout.
I get to see him perform here in the sim. Obviously, I know there's some frustration with his performance today, and I think he was a little frustrated. I think the biggest thing I was concerned about, speaking of Perry and Winfrey and his performance out there, I mean, he did have a few plays that he showed some good stuff, but I was most concerned about his get off the snap. He was slow off the snap quite a bit, and I don't know if he just, if that was just like hangdog mentality where he's like, I'm being punished kind of a thing or what, I don't know.
Well, that's true. Yeah, I don't know. Well, I mean, they'll never. Luckily, those kinds of things don't get out anymore. We'll never know, and no one should probably ask more than about once.
Yeah.
And Stefanski will say, we keep that stuff in-house, and that'll be it. Yep. So, all right, timeout called by the Browns. That's their second one now. They've got one left with 1 minute and a second left here. Certainly seems like they're going to try to go for another score, already up 24-7. Little drag again, more of maybe a slight little slant, and it's Cooper. Now they're going to have to go hurry up if they want to, and they will. No huddle. The pass, Watson. Firing again, out of bounds. You can go out of bounds if you want, Bell, or you can cut up the field and get some more yards to the 25, but your offense is going to have to hurry. We know that Madden will call that timeout when it gets to 10 seconds, and that's where we get, and that's where the timeout gets called. Ugh. So York will come in here for the 42-yarder.
Madden clock management and situational football leaves so
yeah, I
much
mean,
to be desired.
It feels like it wouldn't be that hard to get. But I guess, I mean, I was watching it today. Somebody else's game was on, because NFL Network's showing all the replays or whatever of them. Yeah. So somebody else's was on, and I can't even remember now who it was. Doesn't really matter. But there was like a 2-minute drill they were doing it, and like the running back tried to fight for more yards instead of easily going out of bounds, and the announcers were just roasting him for it. You know what I mean? So
right. No, it does
happens.
Yeah, it does. Just not as consistently as Madden has it happen, and
sure,
and certainly not with the really veteran savvy guys like a Nick Chubb or like some of those guys that are like they're running. I mean, he gave up on a freaking touchdown to step out of bounds to make sure that the Browns won because he didn't want to score with the clock that was left. I mean, there's no way he's not going to be stepping out of bounds in a situation like that. He's too well coached for that.
Absolutely. Hey, Dion, welcome in. Hey, Karen, welcome in. So far, they are tied with us at 8-7. Speaking of Baltimore, but they are not winning the tiebreaker. They are winning the tiebreaker with us because they swept us in the regular season. So we're either both getting in, or we need to finish with a better record than they do. And I haven't, we didn't sim any of the games, so you're not going to see any score updates happening at the bottom. You're just going to see what the matchups are. Going to be real close.
Sure,
it's going to keep us interested all the way till the end, and then we'll be sick of it and chuck the game down the street like a frisbee. Chubb's been solid. He feels like he's been in the zone all game. He's going to go to the right side. He's actually going to get tackled pretty quickly by Zykevius Walker, the rookie out of Auburn here in 2023.
But importantly, still for a yard, so he's still in the zone.
Absolutely. For sure he does. Now he has 1,500 yards on the season, by the way, according to the little stat at the bottom. Somehow that snuck up out of nowhere. Nice big concept leveling there. And Cooper's got a big first down to the 46.
Yeah, speaking of snuck out of nowhere, I don't know how you leave the number one receiver on the Browns just open in a ton of space, but they certainly did that there, and you don't want to leave him alone.
Chubb, sweet little cut in the backfield, and he's past the 45, nearing the 40. They'll say the 41 is where he's down. Browns have already rushed for over 150 yards as a team here, just starting the second half. Now Watson throws way back to the left side where I think that was Cooper. Donovan Peoples-Jones, I guess. He'll pick up a short gain of 4, but a very odd choice of where to throw the football. 3rd and 1 for Mr. Watson. He's back to pass once again, bouncing in the pocket, firing short, drag concept that Peoples-Jones has to lay out to bring it in, but he does for a first down.
Just enough to get it done, but certainly making it a little more risky than it probably needed to be.
BPJ now 1,320 receiving yards. You can see the milestone at the bottom of the screen, so he has been awesome. Chubb now 122 on 10 carries. Even I can do that math.
Right.
For how he is managing per carry. And again, had about 67 of them on his first carry of the game.
Yeah.
Here he comes again. Chubb bumping off tacklers. Sit down, he says, to the 31-yard line for 5 more.
Actually, it was the first.
3rd and 7.
First play of the game, so it should have been 80 or 75 yards, right?
Well, I don't know. Did we get a touchback on the first carry?
I'm not sure, but I don't think we've had a return that far out, like, at all. Like, past the 25.
Good call. Zip it left side. Cooper, are you kidding me? Shades of Jackson Smith and Jigba's first touchdown catch as he somehow gets the toes back down. Let's watch this one again, please, Madden.
Oh, that was sweet. What a catch that was.
A little out and up here. You can see him run it. And Kobe Bryant actually kind of covers him pretty well, but then sort of gives him up to release him to the safety. And Watson way too savvy to chuck that thing right between him. Come on, give us the... Here we go.
Oh, there it is.
That was nasty. They're going to booth review. I'm going to not touch it because I want to see these feet again.
Yeah, that was very much in, but so not needed to be reviewed here, but that was sweet.
Awesome.
That was sweet. Oh, look at that extension. All the way up, all the way back down, feet in. Just beautiful and twisting, going to the ground. Love it.
Call's going to stand. Wow, Coop now with 2 great touchdowns. And the Browns with a big 34-7 lead here after that opening drive of the second half. They've had the momentum pinned all the way to their side for just about the whole game. When you have a 75-yard touchdown run on the first play of the game, that's a good way to set the tone.
Yeah, that'll do it.
and they have maintained the tone. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy here for Nagy on Sports. Appreciate everybody being on. Thank you so much to our subscribers, our super fans who are on our Discord channel. You guys can join anytime for free. Discord is free and easy to use. Chat with us between sims. We have a game chat, so that many of us were on the during the Eagles, like live game chat during real Browns games, and then also get heads up on when we are going to sim and just share general other football life. So if that's something you'd like to do, please use the invite link in the description of this video, or any of our videos for that matter. Stroud's going to throw on the run, short to the right side to Fant, and he'll be thrown down by Winfrey and JOK. And if you haven't had a chance to sub the channel, we would really appreciate that as we continue to make our push for 1,000. That's when YouTube will let us monetize, which would be kind of fun.
Oh yeah,
you're to buy.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to interrupt you. I was reading James' comment. You're right, James. They did punt to us. I had completely forgotten about that. So 60, 65 yards or so.
Oh yes, good call. Good call, James. Smart. Anyway, if you haven't subbed, sub. If you haven't liked, like. That's not going to hound you about it all game. Just try to do it once per game. One public service announcement per game.
And we will appreciate it.
And we do. We very much appreciate it. Very much so. 1st and 10 now. Stroud fakes the delayed handoff. Now here comes Miles. Now he'll throw it to the right side. That's Fant. And he'll fight for another first down, maybe. Depends on the spot. It looks like they gave it to him first down for Noah Fant. Snap is back, give it to Carson. He'll try to bang cut. He does nicely, and then he's banged to the ground right away. Carson again to the right side. He'll be near another first down. Taki Grant Delpit in the vicinity. 3rd and 1 for the Seahawks now.
Hey, Robot, welcome in. Glad to have you here on your first live.
Oh, sweet. Oh, yeah, Robot Hive. He comments on our videos all the time. Welcome. Sorry, I'm assuming I said that. That's my bad. They comment on our posts all the time. Welcome in, Robot. 34-7. It's been a good one for the Browns. It started with Nick Chubb. Their first snap of the game for the Browns went 65-ish yards for a touchdown. But the rookie quarterback, C.J. Stroud, since we're in 2023, is not quitting just yet as he continues to hand the ball off to Chris Carson, who now has 59 yards on his 14 carries. And a first down inside the red zone. Stroud now stepping back into a shotgun. Back to pass blitz coming from JOK. They find it, go over the middle. That's caught by Noah Fant again. Probably the best part, other than the draft picks, of course, of that Seattle-Denver trade was getting Noah Fant. He's definitely a weapon for sure. Heavy set, and Seattle will score a touchdown here. Chris Carson into the end zone. Exactly 6 minutes on the third quarter clock.
The drive took too long, though. I mean, yeah, they succeeded on a long drive there, but, you know, those are the kind of drives you want to put together when you're ahead. Certainly not the kind of drives when you're down by a whole bunch.
Yep. Soon, Robert. Soon. I'm trying to finish this one up. There's a little bit of setup on my part to get things ready, you know, go in and control all the teams and, you know, those kinds of things. Kit and I haven't decided if we're going to do our own playbook or roll it with regular Stefanski's out of the box, you know, those kinds of things. So there's a little bit of setup that, you know, maybe 2 hours of setup that it kind of needs that I just haven't had a chance to do yet. So soon, it'll be sooner if the Browns don't make the playoffs. So if you want to see that happen, start rooting for the Browns to lose or just not make the playoffs, because then that will end the simulated 2023 season, and then it'll be all hands on deck. But the beginning of the school year is just always crazy busy for me, getting back into school, back into the swing of things. I also coach a fall sport in girls volleyball, and so we have practice or games every day. So that's why in the in-season simming schedule slows down a lot, because we just try to keep it. Nice catch by Cooper again, jumping in front of Kobe Bryant. He is abusing Kobe Bryant today.
Yeah, he sure is. And that one was yet another example of just sweet veteran savvy, as he was out there just making a great play on the ball and then finding a little bit of room after he makes the catch to get some more yardage too.
Indeed. Chubb up the middle, following his blockers, just fighting his way, patiently running for an easy 9.5 yards. So, yeah, we'll make it. I know we have a lot of new subscribers since the last time that the Browns played football in real life. So we'll just kind of drop another video about sort of like what the channel looks like while the Browns are actually in season, because it's not about, you know, simulating games. It's about, you know, reacting and staying current with what's going on. So we kind of simulate one game a week in advance of the actual Browns game to sort of see what it looks like as a preview. And then again, Kit and I may drop a couple of other things midweek. But the rhythm of the channel sort of slows down a little bit, lets everybody breathe. And then, but you bet your bottom dollar, as soon as the real Brown season is over, we'll be bam right into 2023.
That's right.
Simming into the future as Chubb's over now 140. And they'll pick up another first down. Almost ready for a automated chew clock mode situation. Yeah, the fact that Richardson hasn't signed is interesting to me. Maybe he just wants too much money, and it really feels like Malik Jackson just fell off a cliff. Like, I haven't heard his name mentioned anywhere by anybody in terms of guys you could bring in.
Right, well, I think there's a good reason for that. I think they saw what they had in Malik Jackson last year, and I think the Browns are pretty well in the no thanks category for that, because his production declined a lot that last season, and then wide open Cooper. Wow.
Again, now Cooper's in the zone. He's got the rack 'em up X factor, and he racks it up to the 1 yard line, first and goal for the Browns. Well, they're certainly not going to lose this one, Mason, so it will have to be that Week 18 matchup, which I don't even remember off the top of my head who they play, and then again, probably need some help from other teams.
Yeah,
Sorry, I cut you off there, Kit.
It was a good season. I was going to respond to Robot here. It was a good season for sure, with Brissett playing 12 of the games. So Browns have done well.
7-5 with him. Yeah,
Browns have done well. Actually, it took a little time for Deshaun to kind of get his feet underneath him, which actually may be pretty realistic.
Yeah. Kareem was like 98% of the way into the end zone, but then somehow didn't score the touchdown. Third and goal. Third and goal from the 1. They're going to throw it. Blitz coming. Watson fires it left side between 2 receivers. Cooper and Harrison Bryant. Boo.
Yeah.
The old 19-yard field goal like he kicked today in the game.
Yep. But I will say, I I will say there is some chance that Sheldon may end up back on the roster. That's I could see that as possible.
Yeah.
I don't, obviously it's going to probably have to be pretty close to a vet deal if he wants to play for the Browns.
Vet minimum, yeah.
Yeah. But which he may not be interested in, but if he is, I'm sure they'd welcome him back. Again, I wouldn't be too concerned. Yeah, I know D tackle was a bit of an issue with the, but that, it's a lot of backups too. And you didn't see any Taven Bryan, you didn't see any Jordan Elliott, you saw very little Togiai. So we'll see.
Nice pass by Stroud. He floats it right over 3 Browns, right to an open Noah Fant. Beautiful throw from Stroud.
That was pretty. And that's the kind of stuff they're going to need if they want to have a chance to get back in it. They need chunk plays. They don't need long sustained drives, as we were talking about before. But no, I think D-tackle room is probably going to be all right. And the fact that a lot of your DNs are going to work in and put 3 DNs out on the field at the same time, potentially even 4.
That's true.
So that's just a lot of what's going to happen this season. Don't forget, that you've got a lot of those guys in the DN room that are able to move to the inside. Wright is a good example of that. He's another guy that got some versatility. He can play some on the inside also.
He made some good plays today in the run game specifically. I thought that was pretty sharp.
Yep.
Ooh, flick of Miles hit him right as he throws incomplete pass now. 3rd and 10. Back on here for CJ Stroud. But all that being said, we'll make a short little video sort of explaining to the peeps how the in-season Brown works. But we definitely have at least 3 preseason games to get through here over the next 2 weeks essentially.
Right. Yeah, no, Mason, obviously I do hope that Watson just comes out swinging and firing in all cylinders and is just awesome. I'd love to see that. And there's a chance. I'm not saying he can't do that. He can.
Sure.
But there's of course a chance that he comes out and has to knock off a little bit of rust because when was the last time that he had played live fire football and outside of the 9 snaps he took in that Jacksonville preseason game.
Yeah.
So
I thought it was interesting that on the Cleveland broadcast they were they had DePodesta in the booth.
Yeah.
And so he talked with them, over the course of maybe a whole drive's worth of offensive plays. And they asked him about that, and he said that they've had conversation and they have not ruled out Watson playing next week.
Oh.
It was basically we're going to make sure that we get, obviously Jacoby, basically the ones are going to play for the first time we need them. Even Miles, when Aditi was interviewing him on the sideline, was like, I'd like to play. I think we need some reps, So I think you're going to see pretty much all the starters. For how long, we don't know. But then it wouldn't surprise me if they did give Watson a couple of series after that, potentially before you go to Dobbs. I don't know. We'll see. It sounds like they're at least still discussing it.
Right.
But they may just, want him out of sight, out of mind at this point. We'll have to see. He's going to fire a strike here, the little double slant concept, and that's Schwartz. First down to the 10-yard line for number 10. And it looks like they can't actually achieve a first down at about that 1-inch line. But then you're talking about, do you still let him play behind the starting offensive line, or do you put him behind the 2s, and then are you risking injury? There's a lot of different ways to look at it for sure.
Yep. They'll
do what's smart with it. I thought it was interesting though when they were talking about the analytics because the Browns went for it on a couple of ridiculous 4th down. What did James put the comment up? Goes for it on 4th and 4 from his own 30 or whatever.
Yeah, but it was a sweet play. It was a sweet play.
It was a sweet play. They were talking about that, and DePodesta's like, we have a whole team of people for 4th down.
Oh,
I thought that was wild. They have an entire group of researchers just for 4th down.
Yep.
Which is incredible to me. As DPJ goes out of bounds at the 2, and he'll be a yard short of the first down. Go for it. Come on. They will at this point.
Hey, Calvin. Welcome in.
Hey, what's up, Calvin? Yeah, absolutely. Miles is hungry to hit somebody.
Yeah.
I'm guarantee you they're not letting him hit our quarterbacks. Touchdown on 4th and 1. Kareem into the zone. And that will glue the nails shut into the coffin for this one. Poor C.J. Stroud. Played well at times, but the Browns defense definitely showed up in this one. And this young Seahawks team will fall to 5-11.
Hey, welcome in, Chris G.
Yeah. Well, it's in Cleveland, right? So that the Bears game is in Cleveland, correct? We have the double preseason home games, right?
Yes, we do.
So you would assume that would help.
And I don't think the Browns fans that are going to show up to preseason are likely to be booing Deshaun if
Correct.
he plays.
No. I would not assume that.
Most of those fans who would consider booing Deshaun are probably not going to the games anymore because they've probably sworn off the Browns.
Yeah. 2nd and 6. 4.5 minutes into the 4th quarter. Rookie C.J. Stroud, you can see he's popped as a superstar X factor. And when he gets to 85, I believe he achieves it, or maybe 90. We'll see. Back to pass once again. Pressure coming from Clowney. He's pushing back the rookie right tackle, or left tackle rather. Shakes him off and somehow throws it out of bounds. How about that play from Stroud?
Wow, that was impressive.
Took him off like Taylor Swift. Back to pass now. Stroud firing deep. He's floating it actually deep. He's got a wide open man. That's Fant again. Broken tackle. 10, 5, touchdown. Wow, 63-yard strike to Noah Fant, balling out here today.
That was impressive, and in all kinds of space there. Easy throw for C.J. Stroud, but
Johnny Harrison in coverage.
Yeah, not the best coverage there, and then not able to come away with a tackle. So certainly not the best play from him, but obviously too little, too late here for these Seahawks.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately. For them, 44-21, 9:32 to go. But how about that touchdown pass from C.J. Stroud to James? Your Panthers are the number 2 seed right now in our sim season. Baker's got them cooking here in year 2 in the system, in the Matt Rule system.
Baker's one of those weird in Madden players, kind of like who was it, like Allen or somebody, who whenever you turned him on in the sim, he's terrible. When he's just being simmed without us watching him,
that's right. Yes,
he's good, and his team is great.
When he's being simmed offline, yes. But then you'd watch him, and yes, that's exactly right. It's good. That's a good. We always thought Josh Allen was much like Nick Chubb, one of those players who just got disrespected aggressively. 3rd and 1 for the Browns. Shifting the play a little bit is Deshaun. Now he'll be back to pass. Big drop for him. Nwosu coming as well. Fires it first down again. Cooper has had an incredible day. He's going to be wrangled to the ground by Jamal Adams, but a big first down again. How about 10 catches for 186 yards for Coop today, and at least a couple of touchdowns.
Yeah, and Watson's only missed 6 times, 21 for 27, I think, is what I just saw.
Here comes Chubb, carrying that ball like a loaf of bread, 2 hands. He's up to 163 yards in his 2 touchdowns. It's been a great day for the Browns' weapons. Yeah, James had mentioned that earlier, maybe before you got on, Mason, that, Matt Corral is done for the year, blew up his foot. So now even more important.
Yeah, they said it was a severe Baker.
And now it probably means that they're not going to try to move Darnold. They're going to have to keep him as their backup.
Yeah.
Because they can't just trust Corral to be the backup.
Yeah, and that's 2 very expensive contracts for a starting and a backup quarterback.
Yes.
And
spin left side, throws it quickly and out of bounds. Nice read.
At that price value for contracts, that sets you up for all kinds of ugly discussions should Baker start to struggle. And then do you bring in I'm blanking on his name. We were just talking about him.
Sam Darnold.
Yeah, Sam Darnold. Thank you. Do you bring in Darnold? Do you not? Then you got the fan base divided kind of nonsense going on. You never want those scenarios.
3rd and 4. Motion coming. Watson fakes the handoff. Play action. Now he'll roll. Now he'll wiggle. Now he'll chuck it out of bounds. Interesting choice. Cade York time again. Try this one from 43, and he's got plenty of leg on it. That is good as well. 47-21 now is the Browns lead. As we try to take, at least they were running some clock there on that drive. 4:50 to go in the game. Phil Nagy, Kit Nagy, for Nagy on Sports, joining you here today. Thanks to our mods as well for helping to be on the chat. McIntosh is another rookie out of Georgia, their kick returner. A lot of rookies on this Seattle team.
Yeah. Speaking of Cade York, thought it was interesting the comments about how hard he hit that upright from 55. That you know, there are some comments about how they think the upright might still be vibrating out there because it was like it just absolutely schwacked it. Apparently,
he kicks a heavy ball. That's for sure.
Yeah.
2nd and inches. Ronnie Harrison making the tackle. Stroud in a shotgun once again. A little bit of motion towards the line from Metcalf, and he'll fire it that direction. And Metcalf has had a struggling game as he's going to drop the football again. I don't know if he's got a catch yet to his name.
No, it's been certainly a rough one for him. It's been all Noah Fant.
Sure has. Stroud setting up screen, and the running back was not even close to ready or looking for it, but now they'll go for it here on a 4th and inches. We do, Will. And the Browns actually tweeted out that they were going to give out some codes, and I said, please give me some codes that I can give out to our awesome Nagy on Sports subscribers. We'll see if they give me some. I would love to have free copies of the game to be able to give out to y'all.
Yeah.
And yeah, maybe he missed it. He might have missed it. We did do like a little, I went through the whole Browns roster and we simmed like a half of football, which was pretty ugly. If we're being honest.
Yeah, it's all baseline everything though out of the box.
Nice run there for Chubb. Give him 9 more.
And in exhibition mode, which, as we all know, they haven't
it was
fixed.
So bad.
Sit there just watching nothing happen, like paint dry.
Yes, Chris G, the Chubb house call is definitely worth a watch.
Oh yeah, lots of fun.
3rd and inches, clock still running here. Under 3 to go when they snap it. At least it should be under 3 to go when they snap it. It's not for some reason. Chubb gets the first down though. 175 yards now for Nicholas, Jamal, Chubb. 39 runs, 31 passes. Love that. Ethan Posick snaps it back to Deshaun Watson, and Chubb runs it again, his 22nd carry.
Closing in on 200.
Closing in. Watson may have to take a sack to give them enough yardage for that. I think he's going to be like, I think he's like 12 off, right? So maybe this, if he runs it in from here, he might be exactly at 200. He will get tackled, however, right at the line of scrimmage. 3rd and 1. That's Jordan Brooks. Probably the best defensive player, statistically speaking, in their front 7 now. 3rd and 1. Watson's going to have a huge drop and then throw a little drag across the middle. First down to Bell, and he gets shot by Jamal Adams, the heavy-hitting safety, of course, formerly of the Jets. That's a 1st and goal again from the Browns. Maybe they just take the merciful route and kneel, or set up to run a play. Chubb met immediately in the backfield. Wow, how about that play? That's the rookie Isaiah Foskey out of Notre Dame, who got back there in a hurry, and that should be it. Browns do not have to run another play. And they will not run another play. All right, 47-21 is going to be the final score. Yes, James, but it almost felt worse to just stare at the huddle for 15 seconds between each play. It was brutal. Brutal. All right, so the Browns get it done here today. Kit, wrap it up while I go through the Seattle statistics.
Yeah, well, this one wasn't even particularly close. Browns exerted their dominance really from their first snap as you saw an incredible Nick Chubb run that looked just like the real, genuine article, and certainly love seeing that, but it really never looked back from there. All kinds of strikes and explosive plays. You had Cooper on just had an incredible game, just hitting him in some space all over the field. Some nice contested catches for him as well. He was involved in some touchdown efforts, and then you got some nice play out of your offensive line and nice play out of your defense as well, and some turnovers to boot. So certainly an all-around good effort for this team and a response to keep themselves in the playoff hunt.
Yes, indeed. All right, Watson today was 24 of 32, 338. And 2 touchdowns. That was 75% for him. Chubb, 24 for 180 and 2 touchdowns. How about 102 yards after contact? Kareem, 18 for 42. He also got into the end zone as well. As Kit was just alluding to, Amari Cooper, 10 for 186 and 2 touchdowns today. 5 for Bell, 4 for Peoples-Jones, 3 for Bryant, 1 for Schwartz, 1 for Hunt. And again, a drop credited for Grant Delpit, apparently. Leading tackler is Jeremiah Usakormo with 11, 8 for Emerson and for Harrison as well. Sacks today they had 3, 2 of them by Miles, 1 by Perion Winfrey, and then 2 more interceptions for this Browns defense, Grant Delpit and Denzel Ward. Pretty steady and even game. He did, Dion, yes. In this version of Madden, he apparently did not retire. But yes, you are correct that he is retired, and we'll make sure that he's not in there for sure. Nick Chubb's going to get another upgrade. He's already a 99. Now he's a 94 in elusive back. Maybe he'll finally get to be... doesn't fit the profile because that's not his top position, which is funny. All right, so here's where we sit today before the week happens. So there you can see, but as I told you, there are 6 teams. So the Steelers and the Texans and the Raiders and Baltimore is not in it, and us and the Patriots are all 8-7. We got the dubs. So now let's see what happens here. We will fast forward into the future. Power of technology. All right, let's see where we're at. Oh, we get to play Baltimore. Oh, snap.
Let's go.
Oh, snap. Well, there you go. So I guess it's a win. It's win or go home. Hey, John, welcome in. So that's what it looks like right now. Again, I told you that Cincinnati and Kansas City and Tennessee could not be caught.
It's all
and then
but
you got
us
the
from the north.
Raiders and Baltimore, and then the Patriots will clinch, and then the Steelers there as well. Same thing over on the other side. You can see 3 NFC South teams in there again, with the Falcons, the Saints, and the Panthers. And again, the Buccaneers woefully the back of the pack, rocking Kyle Trask or whatever it is. So let's take a look at the AFC rankings. As I told you right there at the top, I guess technically the Bengals haven't clinched just yet, but there you look. 9-7, 9-7, 9-7, 9-7. The Texans did lose, so they're at 8-8, and the Patriots are at 8-8, but they're going to get in anyway because the Bills are 6-10, so they're going to clinch. Even if they go 8-9, they're going to be the number 4 seed. So it's pretty much win and get in. Because I think if we lost and the Steelers lost, they would have a tiebreaker over us. I'm not sure if we have a tiebreaker over the Raiders. So we got to take care of business. So it's Browns, it's Ravens. It's going to be massive. 9-7 versus 9-7 for a chance to go to the playoffs. And if that doesn't get you juiced for a sim, I don't know what will. So,
I don't know if there's not a better. I mean, that's about the best way you could possibly ask to end the season right there. A win and in against a rival in the AFC North, and winner goes to the playoffs. I mean, you always want to see something like that. That's fun.
Yeah, that's going to be bonkers. I can't promise you that it'll be tomorrow. I got my first volleyball game of the year. We'll just see what time I get home and how cash moneyed I am. But at some point here over the next couple days, we will get that going for you. And I will also start to prepare the 2023 sim season as well. So for Kit out on the left coast, I am Phil. We are Nagy on Sports. Thanks so much for joining us. You guys are the best. If you hadn't had a chance to sub the channel yet, we'd appreciate that. And if you haven't joined us on Discord, you can do that as well. Use the link in the description of this video. You guys are the best. Browns one more win away over the Ravens for a chance to get into the 2023 sim playoffs. Thanks for joining us tonight, guys. Have a great night. Be safe. Take care of yourselves. And as always,
go